despite this incident. In no way will this tragic incident interfere with the government and the running of our country.
The crash comes at a time of growing dissent within Iran over an array of political, social, and economic crises. Iran's clerical rulers face international pressure over Tehran's disputed nuclear program and its deepening military ties with Russia during the war in Ukraine. Iranians in exile in Berlin celebrated the president's death, while the head of a Paris-based Iranian opposition group told Reuters that
the CNN News 18 and Federal Bank Primetime Studio.
Hello and welcome to Brass Tacks. Coming to you live from the CNN News 18 and Federal Bank Primetime Studio, I'm Zaka Jacob. There is huge controversy brewing in West Bengal. It began with Chief Mamata Banerjee saying that some religious persons involved with Hindu organizations like the Ramakrishna Mission, the Bharat Sevashram Sangha, were acting like the agents of the BJP. One person that she referred to by name is a gentleman called Kartik Maharaj. He has now threatened the Chief Minister with a defamation suit and said that she should withdraw her comments. The Chief Minister is sticking to her guns against the charges that she made against Kartik Maharaj, saying that she was not targeting any institution, but only certain individuals like Kartik Maharaj, who she continues to say is acting at the behest of the BJP. The BJP has once again said that this shows Mamata Banerjee's Hindu Virodhi mindset. Does that charge hold? And is this further polarizing the pitch in the last leg, where about half a dozen odd seats in Bengal, particularly in Kolkata and wider Kolkata, will be voting in the next two phases?
বললো কার্তিক মহারাজ বলেছে তৃণমূলের এজেন্টকে আমরা বসতে দেবো না আপনি বিজেপি করে দাঁড়ান
মাননীয় মুখ্যমন্ত্রী উনি যেটা বলেছিলেন আমাকে প্রমাণ চেয়েছি আমি কোন জায়গায় আমি বলেছি কোন বুথ থেকে আমি সেই কর্মীকে সরিয়ে দেওয়ার কথা বলেছি এবং সরিয়ে দেওয়া হয়েছে আমার কথায়
यहाँ की सीएम मंच पर से इन महान संस्थाओं को धमका रही है अपने वोट बैंक को खुश करने के लिए टीएमसी सरकार हद पार कर रही है हमारे संतों का ये अपमान बंगाल कभी भी सहन नहीं करेगा
All right, we'll be joined in a moment by National Spokesperson Sanju Verma of the BJP, Professor Manojit Mandal, political analyst, somebody who supports the TMC, will also be joining us. Shikha Mukherjee is a senior journalist, and Gargi Nandi Roy, political analyst, also joining us. Shikha Mukherjee, let me start with you first. Why? All right, I believe Sanju Verma and Manojit Mandal have also joined us. Manojit Mandal, let me start with you first. Why is Mamata Banerjee targeting Hindu organizations like the Ramakrishna Mission, the Bharat Sevashram Sangha? If she has problems with individuals within these organizations, then the law and order machinery is hers, the police is hers, she's the Chief Minister of Bengal. If she has evidence to show that any of these people were involving in criminal activities that are against the law and order of the state, then please go ahead and take action against them. But by saying that some individuals within these religious organizations are acting like agents of the BJP, the Chief Minister willy-nilly is targeting these organizations. And these organizations, whether you like it or not, and you're from there, Professor, you don't need me to tell you this, organizations like Ramakrishna Mission, Bharat Sevashram Sangha are extremely not just popular, but also very venerated organizations. Their contribution to Bengal society is etched in golden letters.
No, first of all, I think there is a lack of transmission as far as the issue about Ramakrishna Mission is concerned, because one of their seminal monks, as it were, Swami Paramananda Maharaj ji has issued statement, a video statement. I can play that video. She is, giving thumping approbation to Mamata Banerjee's, actions in the matter. Rather, he's also condemning this Maharaj by the name of, I forgot the name of this Bharat Sevashram Maharaj. I do not even want to remember his name because everyone knows that he is the political agent of BJP. Now, if he feels that it is not true, let him disprove. This person, is stopped, openly said that he won't allow TMC agents to sit in the booths of Purulia. This Kartik Maharaj or whatever Maharaj, and let us not deceive ourselves by saying that Jaka, that in the name of quote unquote Maharaj Charcha or Sannyasi Raj, some of the BJPs are already in the parliament. Shakshi Maharaj is one of them. You call them Maharaj. Pragya Singh Thakur, you call them Sadhvi. She was accused of terrorism. The facts even that they are not targeting Hindus. They're targeting some individual or rather exposing, not even targeting. We knew that these people were doing these things.
Okay, now one second before I bring others in. No, Professor Mandal, one second. If the contention, hear me out. If the contention of the Chief Minister is that this gentleman, Mr. Kartik Maharaj, spread whatever violence in Rajinagar, or he was responsible for not allowing TMC polling agents, whatever it is, whatever the charge that she is making, right? And I spoke to Kartik Maharaj. I'll play out that interview at the end of this debate. I asked him this question as well. He said, I'm issuing an open challenge to the Chief Minister. If she has video proof or if she has any kind of proof, the police is hers, the law and order machinery is hers, she de facto is the Home Minister of the state as well, the police reports to her. Why does she not ask the police to lodge an FIR, take action against Kartik Maharaj?
Can I answer that question? When did this happen, Jaka? It happened during the Ram Navami celebration when the law and order machinery was under the election commission. They removed that particular SP from that area of Rajinagar. I mean, have some proper transmission of facts, Jaka. You are such a celebrated anchor in India.
No. One second. Your contention is he's a political agent. He's been acting at the behest of the BJP. What about the time? A model code is coming into effect only from March. What about the time before that? The police was reporting to the Chief Minister.
This particular riot happened during the Ram Navami procession when Election Commission Code of Conduct was already
there. But your contention is he didn't become a BJP agent just 3 weeks ago, right?
Look.
No, your contention is that he didn't become a BJP agent just 3 weeks ago.
Can I speak? You are a
and by the way, Professor, let me remind you and let me also remind our viewers that if a crime happens, even when the model code is in play, and even when the Election Commission has oversight of law and order, if a crime takes place, if a murder takes place, are you telling me murder case won't be registered by the police? So please don't give us this fictitious thing that EC is responsible.
It will happen.
No. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't buy that. I don't buy that argument.
There are so many.
Let me ask Sanju Verma. Okay, Sanju Verma, please respond. I spoke to Mr. Kartik Maharaj. One second. Let me ask him. Mr. Kartik Maharaj is using the exact same language as any BJP spokesperson. And I don't have a problem with it. Nobody should have a problem with it. The problem is this. Then please say that you're a political appointee. So please say you're a political agent. That's what the TMC is saying. He is using the exact same language that Sanju Verma uses.
Oh my God. Zaka, today you've decided you're going to make life difficult for me. But on a more serious note, I just have good to see you at 9 p.m. Zaka. As an audience, we were missing you on brass tacks. Coming to the moot point, let me take the bull by the horns. I'm not going to, shove things under the carpet. First and foremost, I'm glad you mentioned this because, there is this whole cottage industry which keeps coming on television debates and says, oh, if there's a problem in West Bengal right now, you ask questions to the Election Commission, they are accountable because Abhito Model Code of Conduct is in play. Article 324 right up till Article 328 of the Constitution clearly says the Election Commission's job is to ensure free and fair elections, but that does not mean that the law and order apparatus, the law and order machinery ceases to be under the aegis of the ruling state dispensation, in this case Mamata Banerjee, and by virtue of being not only the chief minister but the de facto home minister, and by virtue of law and order being a state subject under the 7th schedule of the constitution, Mamata Banerjee is responsible, period. Do not try and shove things onto the election commission. And if Mamata Banerjee feels that Kartik Maharaj is indeed engaging in violence or was responsible for what happened on Ram Navami, she should have filed an FIR and brought him to book. So now, in hindsight, Ram Navami was all the way between April 17th and April 19th. We Hindus celebrated for 2 to 3 days with pomp and gaiety. Now suddenly in May, almost after a month, you've woken up and realized that Kartik Maharaj needs to be held accountable. This stinks of nothing but vote bank appeasement politics, because she wants Muslim consolidation and, mind
Zaka,
you,
you are not intervening.
can I please finish?
No, one second.
Zaka, I did not
Let her
heckle him.
finish. Yeah, let her
I'm
finish.
just finishing my
One
point.
second. Sir, let her finish, sir,
Can I
please.
finish? No,
I will.
intervene.
One second. Let her finish.
She is
I want to
going
say
on
one
and
very
on.
interesting. Mr. Mandal, you will also get
What
opportunity
is
to go
this
on and
Bharna?
on. Thank
No, I
you.
don't get
Thank
this.
you.
I don't get this kind of. I'm hindered.
अरे
of-
What is
सर,
this?
आप 2 minutes तो दे दो. Let her make a point. I am asking a counter
I
question
don't
also.
even
Yes,
get
1 second.
20 seconds.
Yes,
unhindered
thank you.
Yes.
opportunity to debate.
1
Arey
second.
bhai
1 second.
sahab.
Sanju Verma.
Thank you. Zaka, I don't know if you've noticed one thing. I have noticed this. You know, Mamata Banerjee makes these incendiary statements at very chosen occasions and in certain districts where the Muslim population
Strong
is
objection.
in majority. I
Strong-
will tell you this.
strong objection to
Zaka,
condemn
this
her
is not a way to
statement on
debate.
TV.
I did not heckle him.
Mondal
This is not
Saab,
fair.
why are you making me do this? I mean, I don't like putting people's
You do
feelers
not allow me
down.
to
Let
heckle.
her please make a point. उसके बाद मैं आपके पास वापस आ जाऊंगा.
Please remember
Thank
that.
you.
Sir.
Yeah.
You know, I don't do this to anyone, and I don't think, Zaka, I'm mollycoddled on your shows. You are very blunt with me. I expect that, you know, you will extend the same kind of blunt courtesies to Mr. Mondal also. Let me tell you one thing. I have noticed one thing about Mamata Banerjee. Each time she says that, what did she say on Ram Navami? Do you remember? I remember her exact words. अरे राम नवमी के दिन में ये हिंदू लोग सब दंगा करता है, ये लोग सब दंगाबाज है, ये राम नवमी का अवसर इन लोगों के लिए दंगाबाजी का दिन है. Let these people be happy by shouting जय श्री राम. इनका जो दंगाबाजी का स्लोगन है जय श्री राम, ये बोलने दो.
Okay.
How dare a Hindu-phobic Mamata Banerjee equate
promised,
Jai Shri
sir.
Ram with Gundaism?
Take 20
How dare
seconds
she
to
equate
expose
Jai
this.
Shri Ram with hooliganism?
Okay.
Why on earth are you going on heckling me, Mr. Mandal? Each time I make a valid point, you are heckling. I need by 20 seconds more. Please understand, Mamata Banerjee undermined the credibility of Ramakrishna Mission at a rally in Murshidabad, which has a 67.3% Muslim population. Earlier, she undermined Hindus at Uttar Dinajpur with a 49.9% Muslim population. Is it a coincidence? Each time
Okay.
she goes to Uttar Dinajpur
Okay,
or
Mr.
Murshidabad,
Mondal, please
she
respond
slams Hindus.
uninterrupted.
Sir,
30
first of
seconds.
all,
and then I have to go to
felt
Shikha
pity.
Mukherjee and to
I
Gargi
felt
Roy.
pity about the level of transmission of information. Arey, Murshidabad has already gone for election. She doesn't need to do this. I mean, it is you and your prime minister is every other day coming and playing divisive politics.
He's your prime minister also.
Arey, what is
He's
your problem
prime
now?
minister
Hang
also.
on, please keep quiet.
He's
Please
your
keep
prime
quiet.
minister
Please
also.
keep
Okay,
quiet.
He's not just
Sanju
my
Verma,
prime
let him make his
minister.
point, please.
What is
Let
this?
him make his
He's your
point.
prime minister.
Professor
This is the level
Mondal.
of tolerance of
Professor
Yes,
Mondal,
loud and clear.
Professor Mondal, make
This is
the
level of-
meatier point.
I tell you,
Make the
this is
substantive
the
point,
level-
please.
yes,
Please.
Substantive point about intolerance of the fake Hindus like Sanjay Verma and Mr. Narendra Modi. What are you talking
Saka,
about?
you will allow
Are
that
if
to
you are
go
a-
unchecked?
If you are a Hindu,
Should
you
I
do
call
not
you?
Yeah, but how are you passing,
Obvious.
how are you passing
Mamata
such
Banerjee
broad
is
brush
obvious.
statements
Being a
calling
Hindu?
Sanju
Yes,
Verma fake Hindu
because-
and so on? Come on.
I mean,
I'm
it
once
is-
again appealing to you,
Like
Professor
the-
Mondal, make the substantive point. No personal attacks,
Substantive points
please.
about Hinduism. What Mr. Sambit Patra has said, what does Hinduism? That Mr. Jagannath, Lord Jagannath is Modi's work. That is
Oh my
Hinduism
God,
for
he's
you.
already admitted
That
that
is
he's
his
He
slipping
has
the tongue.
apologized for it. He has said it's a slip of the tongue. Come back to the issue at hand. The issue at hand is what is it that prompted Mamata Banerjee, the Chief Minister of Bengal, to make this attack on certain individuals
Zaka, please let me come.
who are religious figures? who
She
belong
had
to religious
religion.
organizations.
When really when you use and weaponize religion for a particular political party, these people needs to be exposed. I think Mamta, people of India should thank Mamta for exposing whatever is
Expose
Karti.
mullahs and
I don't
Maulanas.
even call him Maharaj. He's
Expose the
Karti.
mullahs and
He's
Maulanas.
Karti.
Gargi,
And he has been
Gargi,
exposed.
Gargi
And
Nandi
thank God
Roy,
he has been
Gargi
exposed.
Gargi
He's
Nandi
calling
Roy,
Maharaj.
again, the attack by the BJP against Mamata Banerjee is, she is saying this in places where the Muslim population
Look at the
is
level of
bigger.
language that he uses for the
They're
chief
also
minister.
alleging that
He's
she
a-
is doing this to consolidate the Muslim vote bank. Now, the issue is that I spoke to Kartik Maharaj, and I'll play this out in the later part of this debate, once this debate gets over. He is saying that there are districts in Bengal which are like Pakistan. Now, if he can use that language, then he should also face the language that Mamata Banerjee is using against him.
Zaka, thank you for inviting. Let me give rebuttal to Monojit Da point by point. First of all, Zaka, what did Kartik Maharaj do? Why is Mamata Banerjee angry with Kartik Maharaj? There are several reasons. Now, first of all, Kartik Maharaj had organized a protest against that threat issued by Mamata Banerjee's blue-eyed boy, the TMC MLA of Murshidabad, Humayun Kabir. And what did he say? That in Murshidabad there is 70% Muslims and only 30% Hindus, so they can chop Hindus and drown them in the water of Bhagirathi. What has happened to Humayun Kabir? Nothing. So Kartik Maharaj had conducted a protest against that, and rightfully so, because being a monk, it is his duty to protect the dharma rakshati rakshitaha. And now, there are other reasons. In last few years, Kartik Maharaj has become the face of harmony, service and Sanatan in Bengal. Let me tell you, Zaka, that why is Mamata Banerjee scared? Let me tell you, Kartik Maharaj, please let me. Don't second me, Monojit.
Please, Mandal Sahab, ye kya hai? You are the only one who's interjecting when others are speaking. Nobody is interjecting when you are speaking. Please let her finish.
Yeah, Monojit, please don't heckle me. Please don't heckle me.
Let's not do this. I've given you ample time. Please allow the others to make their point.
Aurangabad, one at Beldanga, one at Nadia. Please let me make my points. He runs 3 ashrams, and in the Aurangabad ashram, they also run a hospital which gives treatment to all people, including a huge section of Muslims. He runs school where Muslim children come. So Mamata Banerjee felt that there is a section of Muslim who listens to Kartik Maharaj. And let me tell you, why did I say that in last 3 years he has become the face of Sanatan? He organized different events, Sanatan events. After 703 years, the Kumbh Mela was organized at Triveni. And Kartik Maharaj was the president. He carried food and blanket in lorries. Then there was Lokhokonthe Gita Path. It was a Gita chanting by lakhs, and before that in Mayapur, 5,000 people chanted Gita. All those were organized by Kartik Maharaj. And what did he do? He tried to unite different branches of Hinduism.
Okay.
There on the same stage, monks of Ramakrishna Mission and Tarapit Tantric were sitting. So Mamata Banerjee felt scared. She felt that some Muslims may listen to Kartik Maharaj because of the service being given, and then some Muslim votes may go to Congress and left. So all this together, she felt the need to divide, and she felt the need to polarize the Muslims.
Okay,
and
let me ask Shikha Mukherjee this. Is it fear of losing the Muslim? Is it fear of losing the Muslim vote, or is it, as the BJP alleges, and they are giving instances where Mamata Banerjee in the past has made comments which can be viewed as anti-Hindu. In January 2024, she said that the BJP is treating Ram Mandir inauguration as their Independence Day. In April 2023, she said, I urge my Hindu brothers to maintain peace during holy month of Ramzan. She's never said, I urge my Muslim brothers to maintain peace during Ram Navami. In March 2023, again she said, urge Ram Navami processions to maintain peace and avoid Muslim areas, as though those Muslim areas are not in Bengal. And of course, the most infamous one in 2019 May, where there were chants of Jai Shri Ram, and she came out of her car and started saying that these are abusive outsiders. A series of instances where the Chief Minister of Bengal has seemingly made anti-Hindu comments. That's why the BJP is saying that she has an anti-Hindu mindset. Shikha Mukherjee.
Anti-Hindu mindset? What does that mean? I don't even understand it.
All these comments exemplify that.
No, I don't think so. I think there is a politics to it, and let's stick to the politics of it. Anti-Hindu is not something that I can judge on. frankly speaking, that's not what I judge.
No, so all these comments are what? Pro-Hindu?
Yeah, and then
These
you
comments
have,
that I
and
just
then you have-
outlisted,
and then of course
are they
there is-
pro-Hindu? If they're not anti-Hindu, then what are they?
They're critical of Hindu, of a particular brand of Hinduism.
Okay, one sec. She's not used the word BJP or RSS anywhere. Urge my
Yeah, but
Hindu
there are
brothers to maintain
contexts.
peace.
I mean, Zaka,
Urge
you
Ram
and I
Navami
are
processions to
journalists,
maintain
and
peace.
we continuously look at context. If the context is Ram Navami, let me go back to this year, the Calcutta High Court judgment. The case went to the Calcutta High Court. What did the Calcutta High Court say?
No, they allowed the Ram Navami
No,
processions.
they did
The
not.
court did
No,
not. The court did not say.
No,
Court did not say no.
it
No
was
Ram
not
Navami
a
processions.
blanket permission. Zaka, get your facts right.
Distort the
It
No, no,
was
what-
not a
what-
blanket
Did the
permission.
court? Did the court
It
put a
was
blanket
not
ban on
a
Ram Navami
blanket
processions?
permission.
Only two
No, no.
other
Can I have
The
Shikha Mukherjee
judge
on screen,
laid down
please?
several
Did the
conditions.
Calcutta High
Have a
Court,
look at
ma'am,
it,
put
and
some
then
kind
come
of
to-
blanket
then
stay on
leave the
Ram
comments
Navami
about
processions?
Ram
I want to ask you
No,
that.
this is I take this as very biased. Why? Because here was the judge who said he laid down very specific conditions, and he expressed his concern that there should be no disturbance of the peace.
No, one second.
These
That is not
are-
the same
no,
thing. That
it
is
does-
not the
it-
same thing
he
as
does-
what you
it
insinuated
did-
earlier.
it made
That
a
somehow
very
all Ram
clear
Navami processions
reference
were,
to the fact that
law
there
and
was
order
likely to be
problems, and that all
some
folks who were
problem because
taking
there
who
had
were
been
taking out Ram
problems with
Navami
the
processions were all thugs. That's the
Ram
insinuation you
Navami
made.
procession is not even important in West Bengal. Why are you going on and on about
No, one
the Ram
second.
Navami?
Did the
What
court
happens in
allow the
No.
procession to
This
happen or not?
Durga Puja.
It's a simple
Durga
question,
Puja
ma'am.
Is the biggest.
Did the
Hindu
court
festival
allow Ram
that is-
Navami
that is
processions to
celebrated
go
in
ahead
Bengal?
or not?
And what happens then? Are there any clashes? Is
Shikha
there any
Mukherjee, I'm
problem?
asking you a simple question.
This is ridiculous.
I'm asking you a
Because
very
you are
simple question,
making
ma'am.
statements
It is
about
no
the
one's
state and the
contention.
people
It is
as
no
well.
one's contention
It is
that
not
Durga
just
Puja should not be
politics.
celebrated.
If it's
Of course,
only
it should be
politics, then
celebrated.
let's discuss the
Similarly,
politics.
Ram Navami should be
Yes,
celebrated
this
as well.
is
And
a
people
very
went to court
polarizing
saying there'll be a
election.
law and order problem.
It has been
And
a
the
very
court said go
polarizing
ahead with the
campaign.
procession.
And-
It did
and
impose
the-
conditions. I'm
the
not
Prime
saying no.
Minister, as much
But
as
that's not what
everybody
you
else is
insinuated in the
responsible
first part of your answer. You insinuated as though the court put a blanket ban on the Ram Navami processions. As though
No, it did not.
all people
It
who were
did
taking
not.
out the
Why should
procession
it?
were hooligans.
Why should it? Why
Because
should
that's
you
the
decide
contention
for
you
the
made,
court
right? What did the
it must
court
do?
say? What did the court say?
You are being absurd. You are being absurd. The
Come
clash
on,
is not
you
what-
made a factual
that was not
error,
the case.
and now
No,
you are
that was
you
not
are
the case
character.
in
A complete
West
fool of
Bengal.
herself
The
on
court-
national
the
TV.
I have a few
court
questions for
was
Manojit Mandal.
asked
Please, let me come.
to
Okay,
intervene
Gargi
in a
Nandi Roy wants to
particular
respond to
way.
Manojit
And
Mandal,
no,
yeah.
and then, no,
I have a
few
question.
points.
I've asked
One
very
very
Okay, she has a
quick
question.
Mamata.
Gargi Roy and then
will
Manojit
give the
Mandal
answers.
on screen, please. Yeah.
Even I need to make a point, Zaka.
Yeah.
Manojit, the first question. What steps have you taken against Humayun Kabir who threatened Hindus? Second question, how is it okay when the imams in Baharampur on 16th April had a meeting for campaigning for Yusuf Pathan? Third question, on 10th of May, there was a press release by Bongio Imam Porishad asking people to vote for the Trinamool. How is that fine?
Okay,
So,
Manojit
and
Mandal
fourth
respond.
question,
If imams
why
of certain
the Haji
constituencies
Nurul
can
Islam-
openly
last
back
question,
TMC
why
candidates,
Haji Nurul
why
Islam-
can't Kartik Maharaj back the BJP?
One second, last question, Manojit da. One second. Why is Haji Nurul Islam, who is accused of Beldanga riots, during which Hindu temples and buildings were brought down, he is given the ticket in
Okay,
Murshidabad.
fine. Let him
Kindly
respond. No,
answer
let him
this
respond.
four
I'll
specific
leave the Haji
questions.
Nurul Islam this thing aside. But the meteor point she's making is, if Islamic clerics are coming out and saying back this TMC candidate and back that TMC candidate, why is it then such a crime for Kartik Maharaj to come out and say back this BJP candidate?
I tell you one thing. First of all, please stop calling him Maharaj. The kind of language that he uses.
Arey, that's his name,
No,
yeah.
you
I
could
can't
decide.
I can't change your name. No, I have to call you Manojit
He-
Mandal. If his name is Kartik Maharaj, I'll call him Kartik Maharaj. What else can I call him?
Maharaj is, you have no idea what Bengali surnames. Maharaj cannot
Okay,
be
go
anyone.
on. Please make the substantive point. I don't
First
know
of
why
all,
you're
he's-
obsessed with these
he's
semantics.
Kartik-
Maybe because you're a
he's
professor of
Kartik-
English, but
Kartik
please go
Patel.
ahead.
I don't know why I'm not
Substance
getting
over
a chance to
semantics,
rebut.
please.
Why do you allow me to even speak?
Yes, I'm
English?
listening.
The fact remains that a religious leader with some idea of renunciation will not use this kind
Oh
of...
my God, what is this?
Oh Allah, now your friend has come in. Oh my God, what is, oh my God, your God is Kartik
Zaka, what's
Maharaj.
wrong with Manojit Mandal
What
today?
happened to you today, sir?
He is not our God. There are so many monks, including I show you the Maharaj from Ramakrishna
Zaka,
Mission.
you will have to allow
They
the
do not
BJP
participate
rebuttal.
in
This cannot be
politics.
a
They do not
monologue
participate
by
in
Mr.
politics.
Mandal.
This
cannot be a
Maharaj
monologue by this
I'm
man.
completely out of
Or
time,
Kartik
but
Maharaj has got
Sanju
every
Verma,
right to
30
be
seconds. I
everything
have
that
to
he should
completely wrap
express
up. 30 seconds, please.
Zaka, my limited point is this. Malda riots of 2016, Bhaduria riots of 2017, Asansol riots of 2018 in West Bengal, Jadavpur riots of 2019, Sitakulchi riots of 2021. All these riots at the epicenter were the fact that Mamata Banerjee did not want Hindus to celebrate either Ram Navami or Hanuman Jayanti or Durga Puja.
Okay, we'll have to leave it at that. I'm completely out of time. Really sorry to the guests, but we're completely out of time. It's a truncated debate. I have to play out that portion of the interview that I did with Kartik Maharaj as well. But you're watching Brass Tacks, and we're coming to you live from the CNN News 18 and Federal Bank Primetime Studio. Like I said, I spoke to Kartik Maharaj, the man who's at the center of this storm, who was named by Mamata Banerjee, saying that he's acting at the behest of the BJP. And I asked him specifically, why does he support the BJP? And if he's such an ardent sort of supporter of the BJP, why doesn't he just drop the idea of being behind the facade of a religious organization and directly join politics? He's also filed a defamation case against the Chief Minister and said that if she does draw her comments, then he will press for criminal action against her. Listen in to this interview. कार्तिक महाराज जी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए। जो वेस्ट बंगाल के मुख्यमंत्री ममता बनर्जी, उनका मानना ये है और उनका कहना ये है कि उन्होंने कोई इंस्टीट्यूशन को नहीं टारगेट किया, चाहे वो रामकृष्ण मिशन हो, चाहे वो आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हो भारत सेवाश्रम संघ। उन्होंने सिर्फ ये कहा, एक दो इंडिविजुअल्स और आपके नाम लेते हुए कहा कि आप भारतीय जनता पार्टी बीजेपी के लिए काम कर रहे हैं। इसको आप कैसे रिस्पॉन्ड करेंगे?
ये भारत सेवाश्रम संघ, आरके मिशन, स्ट्रॉन्ग, इस फेमस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बांग्ला में काम कर रहा है, ऑल ओवर इंडिया में काम कर रहा है। लेकिन हमारा जो प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी, उसको सुनाम किया था, वो जो अच्छे काम कर रहा है, इसमें मीटिंग में बोला था नरेंद्र मोदी वो तो बीजेपी के लीडर नहीं है ना, हमारा देश के प्रधानमंत्री है। देश के प्रधानमंत्री, मैं उसको पास गया था, उनको पास जो हमारा लक्ष्यगंज में गीता पाठ हुआ है ब्रिगेड पैरेड ग्राउंड में, उसी टाइम उनको पास गया था। और जो नरेंद्र मोदी को साथ हमारा जो गुजरात जो हमारा ब्रांच है, सूरत, अहमदाबाद, बहुत दिन से हमारा संपर्क हुआ है। इसीलिए प्राइम मिनिस्टर जो काम कर रहा है, अभी 370 अभी उद्योग किया था, तलाक बंद किया था। अब देश में जो अभी अंदर में जो काम हो रहा है, बहुत अच्छा काम हो रहा है। ये प्रशंसा करने के लिए बोला महात्मा लोग, बीजेपी के लोग प्रचार कर रहा है।
नहीं, लेकिन कार्तिक महाराज जी, मुख्यमंत्री का कहना यह है कि आप तो आध्यात्मिक आदमी हो, आप राजनीतिक व्यक्ति थोड़ी ना हैं, तो आपको अगर बीजेपी को सपोर्ट करना तो सपोर्ट कीजिए, लेकिन ये रिलीजन का जो फसाड है उसको हटाकर आप कीजिए। वो कह रहे हैं कि इफ ही वांट्स टू सपोर्ट बीजेपी, लेट हिम डू इट ओपनली।
नहीं, ठीक, वो तो बोले थे, लेकिन महात्मा लोग, स्वामी विवेकानंद किया क्या? स्वामी विवेकानंद देश में काम किया, मैनेजमेंट नेशन पे काम कर रहा है, तो आपके मिशन भी काम कर रहा है, भारत सेवाश्रम संघ जो सेवा काम कर रहे हैं। लेकिन देश के, समाज के लिए, राष्ट्र के लिए, धर्म के लिए महात्मा लोग को तो आगे बढ़ाना होगा ना। इसीलिए मैं भारत सेवाश्रम संघ के संत, ये हमारा धर्म संकट है, वो चल रहा है, हिंदू धर्म खतरे में है, खतरे में कर रहा है, पॉलिटिकल आदमी लोग कर रहा है। इसीलिए मैं बोले थे, और इसीलिए प्रचार कर रहा है जो महाराज बीजेपी, जो हिंदू धर्म के बात करेगा वही लोग को बीजेपी बनाएगा।
लेकिन महाराज जी ये बताइए, मुख्यमंत्री ने ये भी बोला है, एंड आई एम कोटिंग व्हाट ममता बनर्जी सेड, कि रजी नगर में अभी हाल ही में कुछ झड़प हुई थी, कुछ दंगे हुए थे। वो कह रही है कि वो हुआ आपकी वजह से, क्योंकि टीएमसी का जो पोलिंग एजेंट है वहां पे आपने नहीं बिठाया। क्या इसमें कुछ सच्चाई है?
मैं तो यहाँ 40 साल तक मुर्शिदाबाद में है, यहाँ तो पुलिस सुपरिटेंडेंट है, एसपी साहब है, तो एसपी साहब जो 3-4 एसपी साहब हमारा साथ हुए हैं, तो उनको साथ पूछने से, उनको रिपोर्ट लेने से तो फैसला हो जाए। वो तो चीफ मिनिस्टर है, तो मेरे तो अरेस्ट करने चाहिए, क्यों नहीं अरेस्ट किया था? तो भारत सेवाश्रम संघ जो ये काम कर रहा है, दंगों के काम कर रहा है, हिंदू मुसलमान में काम कर रहा है, लेकिन यहाँ का जो सिटिंग एमएलए साहब हुमायूं कबीर, वो बात ओपनली मीटिंग करके बोले थे कि 70% मुर्शिदाबाद में हम लोग है, 30% हिंदू है, 2 घंटे से काट करके गंगा में भसा देंगे।
नहीं तो आप ओपन चैलेंज दे रहे हैं ममता बनर्जी को, अगर आपने दंगे फैलाया है तो आपको अरेस्ट करें?
यस।
आप ये बताइए, आपने अभी एक डेफेमेशन नोटिस भी भेजे हैं मुख्यमंत्री जी को, और आपने कहा कि 3 या 4 दिन के अंदर अगर वो वापस नहीं लेती उनके जो प्रचार थी, तो आप क्रिमिनल एक्शन भी ले सकते हैं। क्या आप अड़े हुए हैं? क्योंकि मुख्यमंत्री ने ये बोला है कि उन्होंने सिर्फ 1-2 व्यक्तियों का नाम लिया है, ना कि उन्होंने इंस्टीट्यूशन का नाम लिया है।
वो कार्रवाई करेंगे, वो हमारा जो लॉयर है ना
जी,
कार्रवाई करेंगे, कानून की कार्रवाई करेंगे।
ओके कार्तिक महाराज, थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर जॉइनिंग अस।
Death represents an enormous and serious strategic blow to the mullah's supreme leader Ali Khamenei and the entire regime. The United Nations held a moment of silence for Raisi Monday, while leaders around the globe expressed their condolences, including Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan, who said earlier it sent rescue teams to assist, while even the U.S. offered to help after receiving a request from Iran, according to State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller.
I'm not going to get into the details, but we were asked by the Iranian government for assistance. We said that we would be willing to assist. It's something that we would do with respect to any government in this situation. Ultimately, largely for logistical reasons, we weren't able to provide that assistance.
The U.S. government offered condolences to the Iranian people, though a White House spokesperson said Raisi had blood on his hands for supporting extremist groups in the region. An Israeli official who requested anonymity told Reuters it was not involved in the crash, while the U.S. said it played no role either.
Will the nationalism pitch and the Hindutva push sway the voter? Join me, Veer Sanghvi, for the most dynamic and distinctive coverage, unrivaled political punditry, and the sharpest election analysis. Elections equals CNN News 18.
علیزا فرمودن سوره 5 رو بخونید. امام صادق فرمودن
همتی از پرتو خورشید حق ما خادمان ملت غریب بذار که بی پرده بگم امام رضا دیوونتم یا حسین.
خب از این خبر همه ناراحت شدیم. بالاخره یک رئیس جمهور مردمی و یک رئیس جمهور خستگی ناپذیرمون رو از دست دادیم و انشالله که خدا به مردم ایران صبر بده.
برادر بزرگوارم آقا حنیف طاهری عزیز.
مطمئنا دشمنان سوء استفاده خودشونو میخوان بکنن. خبرهای امروز اسرائیل، آمریکا و انگلیس خودشون رو نشون دادن، همونطور که در موضوعات دیگر در این کشور اتفاق افتاده خودشون رو نشون دادن و مطمئنا ملت ایران قوی‌تر و بهتر نسبت به گذشته انشالله پیش خواهیم رفت.
با همه گیر و گرفتاریاشون پای خادمای شما ایستادن.
قطعاً میتونه مدیریت کنه. ما از این مراحل سخت‌تر هم داشتیم. اولین رئیس جمهور شهیدمون نبوده. مطمئناً هم از این حادثه با همیشه سربلند رد میشیم.
و حرف پیام این ملت رو چی جوری به همه دنیا رسون؟
کسی به من میگو خوش به حالم کشتن همه اهالی ایران.
نوکرای امام حسین میخوان بخونن به این زن بدن، اما برای هممونه.
تو روابط تونیس رو اصلاح کن به تعبیر مولا امیرالمومنین.
Ve burada görüyorsunuz helikopterin
میتونه یک راه بسیار خوب امنی رو برای ترانزیت کالا برای نظام.
Welcome back to Brass Tacks. We're coming to you live from the CNN News 18 and Federal Bank primetime studio. The tragic car crash from Pune has sent shockwaves across the nation. In fact, the Pune police have arrested the father of this 17-year-old who was involved in the car crash, which killed two people, both of them IT professionals, both of them youngsters in their 20s. Now, this comes a day after the teenager's father was booked under the relevant sections of the Motor Vehicles Act as well as the Juvenile Justice Act. The charge against him is that he failed to do his duty as a guardian. The minor accused was granted bail within 15 hours of his arrest, citing his age. And what was even more outrageous was the rather lenient bail conditions that the accused managed to get, and that has sparked massive outrage both on social media and across the country. The accused was made to write an essay on what led to the crash. He was also told to work with the traffic police there, seek medical help, and assist accident victims, and that's it. He was given bail. However, the families of the victims are demanding maximum punishment for the accused. They also want the bail given to him to be scrapped. Given the fact that this minor was caught on camera, he was seen drinking in a pub along with his friends and then got behind the wheels of this sports car that mowed down two people, an unregistered car which he had driven for over 1,600 kilometers. Is there a fit case to try this teenager as an adult, or is this a failure of the larger system which has led to these two deaths?
We heard a loud noise. The girl flew some 10-15 feet and then instant death. The boy was also down and struggling. They took him, but on the way only, he lost his life.
If we notice any pubs serving liquor to the underage people, we will ensure that the nuisance of pubs are taken care of on a permanent, long-term, sustainable basis.
All right, I want to now go across to two lawyers who are on both sides of the divide as far as the big question is concerned. Should this Pune accused, this car crash accused teenager be tried as an adult? Satya Mule is a lawyer joining us. Ashutosh Srivastav, also a lawyer, joining us. Mr. Srivastav, you believe that he should not be tried as an adult. He is just 4 months short of turning major, turning 18. More importantly, there's video evidence of him sitting in a pub and drinking just minutes before he got behind the wheel of this Porsche car and then mowed down two people, two young people, IT professionals. Shouldn't this man be tried as an adult?
See, I do agree that it was really an unfortunate incident, and we all agree that it is a very big loss as two people, IT professionals, very young, two people have died. So there is no question on that. Now, so far as the law is concerned, I would like to say that initially when the FIR was registered, the main section was 304A of Indian Penal Code. And as we know that 304A, which speaks about, the death of a person by negligent behavior of the other person, that is, basically a bailable offense, and the maximum punishment prescribed is 2 years in that. Now,
I want to add one correction, Mr. Srivastav. Now the latest charge has been added of culpable homicide not amounting to murder.
Yes.
So let's talk about the facts of the case as it exists now.
Yes.
This is culpable homicide. Let's not try to dilute it.
No, I am coming to that. And that was the reason he was granted bail initially. Now, there have been other sections which have been inserted, and that also includes Section 75, Section 77 of the Juvenile Justice Act, and also Section 304 of IPC, which you said just now. Now, as we see the Juvenile Justice Act, as per that, Section 77, the bar who was serving any sort of liquor or who serves any sort of liquor to any, juvenile below the age of 18 years, that person can be prosecuted under this Section 77 of Juvenile Justice Act, and can also be, the maximum punishment prescribed is 7 years imprisonment. Now, that is what has been implicated, and I think today the court has granted 7 days remand to the bar.
One second. What about his own responsibility? One second. Again, you're trying to dilute this. What about the responsibility of the individual who consumed alcohol, then got behind a wheel, then mowed down two people? He's the person who committed the homicide. I'm not condoning what the bar owner or the bar server did. But he did not commit culpable homicide. This man did. This teenager did.
The NCPCR has given certain guidelines, as per Section 15 of the Juvenile Justice Act. And as per that guideline, any person who is below the age of 18 years has to be considered as juvenile. However, in certain circumstances, when the age of that person who has committed or has been alleged to have committed any crime is between 16 to 18 years, only in cases of heinous crimes he can be tried as an adult.
Satya Mule, one second. So let me go to Satya Mule. I think your whole attempt, Mr. Srivastav, I'm sorry to say this, is to try and dilute the charges against the accused. Because I've given you more than 5 minutes, 3 questions I've asked you. Not for once have you said that what this young man did, and A, it was irresponsible, A, it was absolutely criminal. There was no reason why he should be going to a bar, consuming alcohol, then getting behind a wheel of a sports car, an unregistered car, which was driven for more than 1,600 kilometers, and then killing 2 people and showing no remorse. The car doesn't stop, he just drives away. So let me ask Satya Mule this. One second, Mr. Srivastav, 1 second. I've spent enough time with you. Let me ask Mr. Mule.
All right.
Mr. Mule, The point is, the court has, I know that the Juvenile Justice Act, Section 75, 76, and whatever the protocols are laid down by the juvenile justice boards of the country, but there have been exceptional cases. I remember one particular case in Mumbai. It was a gang rape case in which one of the accused was a minor. The court made an exception and said, try him as an adult. Can and should the courts in Pune make the same exception for in this case? Because clearly, I'm not seeing any evidence of either a remorse from the accused person, and more importantly, the fact that there is video proof now, that he consumed alcohol and then sat behind the wheels of this car, it's absolutely inexcusable.
Yes, Zaka, what you have mentioned is absolutely right, and I subscribe to your views. Let's put the facts straight. 2012, the nation saw the big controversy surrounding the Nirbhaya case.
Yes.
What happened in the Nirbhaya case was one of the accused was a juvenile, and till that particular time, there was a strict implementation of the Juvenile Justice Act. The Nirbhaya case forced the union government to enact the new Juvenile Justice Act in 2015, which is in force now, wherein in section 233, it is stated that the definition of heinous crime includes any offense which is punishable by minimum 7 years or above. And in current instant case, the FIR includes the section of IPC 304, which is punishable by 10 years of imprisonment if you have to look at part 2 of section 304. Having said this, this is nothing but definitely a case of culpable homicide not amounting to murder. This is an intentional offense that has been committed by a person who is almost 18 years of age. Technically, he is below 18 years of age, but one doesn't go by a particular number. Even in other cases and situations, the Supreme Court of India, as well as the union government, is of the opinion that 18 years, the threshold should not be interpreted in a mechanical manner.
Yeah.
Having said this, when we have defined the heinous offenses, section 15 states that the Juvenile Justice Board will have to evaluate whether this person has the psychological and physical capability to commit that particular offense. And if he is found to be able to commit that kind of offense, then he has to be tried as an adult.
No, I'm very clear, Mr. Mule. Had in this case, you know, this young man was going for a test drive and it resulted in this accident, or if he was trying this out, you know, his guardian was sitting next to him and he was testing out the car, I'm willing to give some amount of the benefit of the doubt. In this case, there is evidence of him drinking, consuming alcohol, just moments before this accident happens. Gets into the car, drives off and kills these two people, and then does not bother to stop. He drives away.
Yes.
And then look at the VVIP treatment he's getting at the police station, the fact that the first FIR did not have 304, and then subsequently, because of the outrage, the 304 got added. I think it's very, very clear. If culpable homicide is not a heinous crime, then what is? And look at the intention. The intention is very clear. That he drank before he took the wheel, I think it's very, very clear. The intent is there for everyone to see. There can be no benefit of the doubt.
I would like to add a couple of things. I'd like to add a couple of things here. This person not just was underage for drinking, but was also underage for driving.
Exactly.
And this person was very well aware that he is not allowed to do what he did. He was not allowed to drive. Having said this, as of today, there was a car without a number plate. It was a sports car. If one evaluates the videos of the accident, one can very much easily conclude that the speed of that particular sports car was phenomenal. It was not a test drive. He was under the influence of alcohol, and he was under the influence of adrenaline. He was wanting to show the rush of the blood, and in the phase of youth, many such things happen. But having said this youth was fully aware of what he was doing.
Ashutosh.
हर घर पाइप से
این حادثه سنگینیه برای همه ما، در حقیقت مورد تأسف و تأثر.
انشاءالله خود سربازان شهید سلیمانی این کار رو انجام خواهند داد.
Helikopterin parçaları burada.
Debris and mangled metal can be seen wedged between trees at a site said to be the wreckage of Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi's helicopter on Monday. The footage from a Turkish broadcaster showed parts of the destroyed aircraft in a misty forested area. Officials in state media on Monday said Raisi, a hardliner seen as a potential successor to Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, was killed along with 6 others aboard the helicopter after it crashed in poor weather in mountains near the Azerbaijan border. Supreme Leader Khamenei, who holds ultimate power with a final say on foreign policy and Iran's nuclear program, announced 5 days of public mourning and said First Vice President Mohammad Makbar would take over as interim president. In the first cabinet meeting after the crash, the acting leader vowed the incident would not interrupt the government's operations.
This
is a serious incident for all of us. It is sad and upsetting, but in the interests of the country and our people, we won't have any disruption. The country will continue moving forward under this leadership. Everyone should continue on with their roles despite this incident. In no way will this tragic incident interfere with the government and the running of our country.
The crash comes at a time of growing dissent within Iran over an array of political, social, and economic crises. Iran's clerical rulers face international pressure over Tehran's disputed nuclear program and its deepening military ties with Russia during the war in Ukraine. Iranians in exile in Berlin celebrated the president's death, while the head of a Paris-based Iranian opposition group told Reuters that Raisi's death represents an enormous and serious strategic blow to the mullah's supreme leader Ali Khamenei and the entire regime. The United Nations held a moment of silence for Raisi Monday, while leaders around the globe expressed
How will these elections impact Bharat's rise in the world? Join me, Nalin Mehta, for the most dynamic and distinctive coverage, unrivaled political punditry, and the sharpest election analysis. Elections equals CNN News 18.
including Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan, who said earlier it sent rescue teams to assist, while even the U.S. offered to help after receiving a request from Iran, according to State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller.
I'm not going to get into the details, but we were asked by the Iranian government for assistance. We said that we would be willing to assist. It's something that we would do with respect to any government in this situation. Ultimately, largely for logistical reasons, we weren't able to provide that assistance.
The U.S. government offered condolences to the Iranian people, though a White House spokesperson said Raisi had blood on his hands for supporting extremist groups in the region. An Israeli official who requested anonymity told Reuters it was not involved in the crash, while the U.S. said it played no role either.
رضا فرمودن سوره فجر رو بخونید. امام صادق فرمودن
الصدیق الشهید همتی از پرتو خورشید حق ما خادمان ملت غریب بذار که بی پرده بگم امام رضا دیوونتم.
In a battle of alliances, will personal equations spoil chances? Join me, Smita Prakash, for the most dynamic and distinct coverage, unrivaled political punditry, and the sharpest election analysis. Elections is equal to CNN News 18.
خب از این خبر همه ناراحت شدیم. بالاخره یک رئیس جمهور مردمی و یک رئیس جمهور خستگی ناپذیرمون رو از دست دادیم و انشالله که خدا به مردم ایران صبر بده.
برادر بزرگوارم آقا حنیف طاهری عزیز.
مطمئنا دشمنان سوء استفاده خودشون رو میخوان بکنن. خبرهای امروز اسرائیل، آمریکا و انگلیس خودشون رو نشون دادن، همونطور که در موضوعات دیگر در این کشور اتفاق افتاده خودشون رو نشون دادن و مطمئنا ملت ایران قوی‌تر و بهتر نسبت به گذشته انشالله پیش خواهیم رفت.
با همه گیر و گرفتاریاشون پای خادمای شما ایستادن.
قطعاً میتونه مدیریت کنه. ما از این مراحل سخت‌تر هم گذشتیم، داشتیم. اولین رئیس جمهور شهیدمون نبوده. مطمئناً هم از این حادثه با همیشه سربلند رد میشیم.
و حرف پیام این ملت رو چی جوری به همه دنیا رسون؟
السلام علی دل شکسته کسی به من میگفت خوش به حالم کشتن همه اهالی ایران. نوکرای امام حسین میخوان بخونن به این زن بدن، اما برای هممونه. تو روابط تونیس رو اصلاح کن به تعبیر مولا امیرالمومنین.
Ve burada görüyorsunuz helikopterin میتونه یک راه بسیار خوب امنی رو برای ترانزیت کالا برای
نظام هیچ خللی ایجاد نمیکنه. این حادثه سنگینیه برای همه ما، در حقیقت مورد تأسف و تأثر.
انشاءالله خود سربازان شهید سلیمانی این کار رو انجام خواهند داد.
Debris and mangled metal can be seen wedged between trees at a site said to be the wreckage of Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi's helicopter on Monday. The footage from a Turkish broadcaster showed parts of the destroyed aircraft in a misty, forested area.
Is the historic third-term dream achievable? Join me, Shapun Das Gupta, for the most dynamic and distinct coverage, unrivaled political punditry, and the sharpest election analysis. Elections equal CNN News 18.
Media media on Monday said Raisi, a hardliner seen as a potential successor to Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, was killed along with 6 others aboard the helicopter after it crashed in poor weather in mountains near the Azerbaijan border. Supreme Leader Khamenei, who holds ultimate power with a final say on foreign policy and Iran's nuclear program, announced 5 days of public mourning and said First Vice President Mohammad Makbar would take over as interim president. In the first cabinet meeting after the crash, the acting leader vowed the incident would not interrupt the government's operations.
این حادثه سنگینیه.
This is a serious incident for all of us. It is sad and upsetting, but in the interests of the country and our people, we won't have any disruption. The country will continue moving forward under this leadership. Everyone should continue on with their roles despite this incident. In no way will this tragic incident interfere with the government and the running of our country.
The crash comes at a time of growing dissent within Iran over an array of political, social, and economic crises. Iran's clerical rulers face international pressure over Tehran's disputed nuclear program and its deepening military ties with Russia during the war in Ukraine. Iranians in exile in Berlin celebrated the president's death, while the head of a Paris-based Iranian opposition group told Reuters that Raisi's death represents an enormous and serious strategic blow to the mullah's supreme leader Ali Khamenei and the entire regime. The United Nations held a moment of silence for Raisi Monday, while leaders around the globe expressed their condolences, including Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan, who said earlier it sent rescue teams to assist, while even the U.S. offered to help after receiving a request from Iran, according to State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller.
I'm not going to get into the details, but we were asked by the Iranian government for assistance. We said that we would be willing to assist. It's something that we would do with respect to any government in this situation. Ultimately, largely for logistical reasons, we weren't able to provide that assistance.
The U.S. government offered condolences to the
Hello, Namaskar. This is First Post and you're watching Vantage with me, Palki Sharma. We begin with Iran again. Thousands took to the streets to mourn the death of President Raisi today. The funeral procession will go to 5 cities. There were celebrations too in some parts of the country, and it basically sums up his legacy. Tonight we'll talk about the succession race that his death has triggered and the many conspiracy theories doing the round. So much so that officials in the US and Israel are clarifying. We'll tell you all about it. Meanwhile, Joe Biden has talked about the ICC, about the arrest warrant that they may issue against Benjamin Netanyahu, and his statement exposes his hypocrisy. In Africa, Zimbabwe has signed a $500 million deal with China. We'll discuss why it's a risk. In Russia, they're planning a major upgrade and comeback for